These are assembly instructions for my Santa in the Chimney treat box. So my Santa is cut out of a cardstock base with vinyl for the details. So I'm using transfer tape, which I have stuck to my jeans a few times just to take off some of the stickiness. So I have the front of my Santa, and then I have the back of my Santa, which is the mirror image of this piece. So I'm just applying my vinyl pieces. So now that the back and the front of my Santa are decorated, I'm just putting glue on the underside of one of them and then gluing it to the other one. I want all the edges to match up. So next I have my chimney piece, so I'm folding down on all the score lines for it. And then I have my brick pattern. So the two large ones go on the large panels. And then I have the two in between. And then I'm using more of that transfer tape. I'm just decorating these 4 rectangles. I'm just applying the vinyl within the score lines. So now that I've decorated my chimney piece, I'm going to flip it over. So I have my small side tab at the top, and I'm putting glue on this flap and then folding on the score line, folding it down. Then I'm moving on to the next one, folding that one down, and then the third one. And then I'm rotating my piece, so I have my tab on the side here. So I'm just putting glue all along that side tab, and then I'm bringing the other end over. I want the cut line of that panel to be right along the score line of my tab, and I want the top and the bottom score lines to be nice and even. Next, I'm putting glue on that last flap. I'm carefully tucking it in and then folding it over and gluing it up against the panel. So now I'm going to flip my piece over and folding down those side tabs. I'm going to put glue all over them and then folding down my back flap, putting glue all over it, and then folding down that front flap. I want the sides to be nice and even, and then I'm going in with my bone folder and spreading that glue. So that's my chimney. So I've cut these pieces out of glitter cardstock. So these are meant to simulate snow. So I'm just going to glue them at the top of my chimney piece. So I'm gluing them to the open end of my chimney. The flat edge goes against the top and fits nicely between both sides. And so next I have my roof piece, which is the base of the card. And I'm just folding down on all the score lines. And then I have another piece of glitter cardstock that's going to go over the cutout that's on one of the panels. So I'm just putting glue on the underside of it and gluing it down to my roof piece. So I'm putting glue all along that tab that's at the bottom. And then I'm just gluing it to the other end of my panel. So it forms a triangular shape. It's okay to press down here and make sure that that glue adheres. And then I have a little tab at the end. I'm putting glue all over it, folding up that triangular tab. I want the edge of it to be right against the score line. Then I'm putting glue all over that triangular shape and folding it down. I'm going to do that on the other end as well, putting glue on the short tab, folding that side panel up, and then glue all over that triangular shape, glue that down. So I'm going through the opening and I'm just spreading that glue. Then I have my sentiment, Happy Holidays. I'm going to put it towards the top, so towards the snow piece, and just center it as best I can. So my Happy Holidays has a base of white cardstock and some green vinyl for the lettering. So for the Tic Tac version, you wouldn't have this piece. This is the box that my truffles are going to go into. So I'm just folding down on all the score lines for it. And I'm going to flip my piece over so I'm looking at the inside of it. And then I'm going to bring this panel over. So I'm putting glue from the score line to the edge of my tab. And then I'm going to fold the other end over, and I want the cut edge of that piece to be right along the score line of my tab. And I want the score lines at the top and the bottom to match up. I'm going to fold my side tabs down and close my lid. And then I'm going to position my box so that it's resting on its lid. And then I'm going to fold in those side tabs that are on the bottom and put glue all over them. So I'm going to fold down the panel that's away from me first, and then I'm going to put glue all over that flap, and then I'm going to fold down the panel that's closest to me. I want to make sure that the cut edges are right against the score lines. Then I'm going to flip my box over. I'm going to open it, and then I'm going in with my bone folder, and then I'm just spreading the glue. So next I have my little envelope piece for the gift card. So I've just folded down on all the score lines for it. I've folded my tabs inwards and I'm putting glue on both of them. And just folded that panel over and then folded that top flap over. And that's my envelope. I'm just putting glue on the bottom of my box, and I'm inserting it into the opening, and I'm just gluing it down to my triangular base. And so for my little Santa, I have these Velcro dots. So I'm placing a Velcro dot on each one of Santa's mitts. I'm going to load up my box with my truffles, and then I'm going to layer the second part of my Velcro dot loosely on top of the other two. I want Santa to be just at the top of his hat, like so. I can't have Santa going past the edge on the box. When the person receives it, they pull on Santa's legs and remove their treat. I have the gift card holder, which you can adhere to the bottom of the platform or can insert inside the chimney. So for the Tic Tac version, I've done the same thing. 2 Velcro dots, one on each side of Santa's mitts, and then I've got the Velcro dots on my Tic Tac box, and then just insert it inside. I've also included a box to put my little chimney in. I'm putting glue on one of the side tabs from the score line to the edge, and then gluing my second piece right to that score line. So I want the cut edge to be right along the score line. So this cut edge is even with the score line, and these score lines are even. And then I have my top flap, so it's 3 panels. I'm putting glue on the smallest panel and then just adhering it to the outside of my box. I want the score line to line up exactly with the tabs on each side, like so. And then I'm going to flip my piece over so that I'm looking at the interior, and I'm putting glue along my tab and bringing the other side over, and then just gluing the cut edge of the other side to the score line of my tab. And then I'm folding up the top of my box and flipping my piece over so that I'm looking at the bottom of it. I'm folding down those side tabs and putting glue all over them. So this is the back of my box, so I'm folding down the flap that's at the back of my box, and I want the cut edges to be along the score lines. And then I'm covering it with glue and then bringing that front panel down, again making sure that the edges are in line with the score lines. Going into the interior of my box with a bone folder and spreading that glue. And so now I have my little chimney. And I'm going to use another Velcro dot as a closure for my box.